Hey everybody, I was thinking about something that happened on the job the other day. We were outside, me and the crew were outside, and we were like maybe about 1 o'clock. We were doing some work at a customer's house, or I was observing as they did the work. And we saw, from my perspective, I saw a rabbit running down the street like crazy, crazy fast, like super, super fast, going toward the direction of a house that was across the street from all of us. So I watched the rabbit, of course, because he was going so fast. I thought something was chasing him. And when he got to the house, it was a crow on the grass, and the crow had something in his mouth. It looked like a sock or something, but I could tell that it was, as you know, as I looked a little closer, it was a baby rabbit. So the rabbit charged the crow and kicked it and stuff, but the crow never let the baby rabbit go, and the baby rabbit wasn't moving. So I think by that time the crow had taken him out. And the rabbit was, still trying to fight the crow, and the crow was hopping away, and eventually it hopped and flew away. And as the rabbit was looking at the crow from behind, I also in the same scene, I saw a cat kind of creeping slowly on like the backside of the rabbit as the rabbit was dealing with the crow. The rabbit had his back turned, and this cat slowly creeped up and grabbed the other baby rabbit from behind the rabbit. And the rabbit turned around and was scared, because the cat had snuck up on him. He didn't notice the cat was coming, so he jumped. And the cat, just ran off and took the other baby. And I'm presuming, took that one out as well. And the crazy part was, after that, the rabbit just sat there, like stunned, like totally in shock and disbelief. And I don't understand animals. I don't, talk to animals or deal with animals enough to know their behaviors, but that rabbit looked shattered, like completely shattered and broken and just completely distraught. And I thought immediately of my own life, because I have two kids, and I thought, like, that would be like, I don't even know how would I function after something like that were to happen. And it also made me think of, for whatever bad day you think you may be having, this rabbit just lost both of its children in a split second. And it made me think about that. Like I said, my own children. It made me think about like motherhood in general, because this was a female rabbit. I don't know that for a fact, but I just imagined. And how that rabbit was running, and how it charged and ran into the crow. Like, the crow was much bigger, and the crow, was probably prepared to fight if it didn't have its mouth full. And it just made me think about a lot of things. It made me think about, like, mothers in general, and how mothers fight for their children. But then it made me also think about parents in general, because it's not just, moms that fight for their children. Although I will say that I believe that mothers have a different kind of attachment than fathers do. Fathers love their children 100% as well. And I think mothers have a closer bond, because how could you not? You had something in your body for at least 9 months or 10 months in some cases. So how could you not have a closer attachment? But it just made me think about all those different dynamics, and how parents across the board, human or in any other species, rabbits, what have you, how they love their children, and how they'll do anything for their children, and how tragic that whole scene played out right in front of us. And it was over, like I said, like broad daylight, over the course of maybe 5 minutes, maybe probably less than that. But like 5 minutes, we saw that whole scene go, that whole scene take place. And it just made me think about my family, and how much, when bad things happen, you think, like, this is the worst thing. I can't think of anything worse than this moment. I don't know if I'll ever get past this moment. It hurts so bad. I just don't want to be here. I don't want to live, but I don't want to die. I don't want to, I just want this pain to pass by or get over. I don't want to get over it. I want it undone. Sometimes you don't want to just be able to deal with the pain. You want the pain to be undone. And I thought about that in comparison with the rabbit, and how in a split second she may have started her day, and I don't know if those were her only two children, or if she had many other litters before that, or by now if she's had any other ones. But it just made me, in a split second, she started her day with two children, and she ended her day with just by herself. And I don't know if rabbits are capable of contemplation, but I wonder if did she think that if I had just done a better job of hiding them, the crow and the cat wouldn't have found them, or if she thought to herself, if I had done a better job of getting what I had to do done in time so I can get back to protect them, they'd still be here and I'd still have the children with me. And I think along those lines, because it's a very tough thing to have to try to rationalize in a moment of tragedy, especially for the rabbit, but even in moments of lesser significance, when you're in the middle of the moment, it's incredibly difficult to try to rationalize and say that, oh, it'll get better, or I trust God if you trust God, or how do I center myself and refocus. So all those thoughts were swirling around when I saw that scene take place with the rabbit and the crow and the cat and the baby rabbits. I thought about all those different things, and I thought about my life and how everything isn't what I want it to be, but I thank God that my children are still here. And for as much as, you would want things to be different, you'd want maybe more money, you'd want maybe a better position in life, more happiness, more fulfillment in any area of your life, if you still can have something to be thankful for. And there's always something to be thankful for. Of course, there's a cliche I've heard, a story that said, I used to complain about not having shoes until I met the man with no feet. And there's always going to be something to be thankful for comparatively in life. When you think that you should have, more money, and you meet people who can't work anymore, who can't go to a job, or they can't obtain employment to get money, or they can't get assistance if they're disabled to pay for their everyday living expenses. You think about stuff like that, and I was just thinking about that because, number one, you hardly ever see a scene like that, like in real life, take place right before you. So that's one reason I was thinking about it. But the other reason, again, was because I'm a parent, and I know if I saw, from a distance, somebody doing that to my kids, they would probably have to, if they took one or two, they'd have to take me, because that's the only way I could rationalize, having put up enough fight, is if I too was injured, or I too succumbed to those injuries. I couldn't just let it be. And that's my fight for them, regardless, whether it's, something mundane or it's something more major. I have that same fight for them, just like that parent would. And it's interesting, on a kind of related note, there was a show called Adam Ruins Everything, and it was very interesting because it was kind of like a myth debunker show, and he was talking about the theory of alpha males, like alpha personalities rather. And in society, we talk about alpha personalities as being the people who are the leaders, the most driven people, the most goal-oriented, the most dominant personalities in regard to business or just in their personal life. These are the dominant people, the people that want to take charge or do take charge in those situations. And they were talking about a book that, and I forget the author's name right now, but they were talking about a book where the author was talking about those personalities and alpha personality, and he's kind of alluded to that's where that saying came from. And he was talking about, the author of the book was talking about how he followed a group of wolves for a while, and he named, one or two the alpha. These are the alpha wolves, and these are the beta wolves, and so on, based on the Greek alphabet. And he published a book, and it was very successful and wildly popular. And people, I have an alpha personality, or what have you. And a couple years later, after, of course, doing more research, he found that it wasn't that some people were predestined or could be trained to be an alpha personality or a beta personality. He said that The alphas, as he found them to be in the wolf pack, were just the parents. They weren't stronger or better than any other wolves. They didn't take charge, the wolves that were more assertive than anyone else. They were in charge because they were the parents of the pack. So the alpha in that situation and going forth were just people who were parents. So they had to be in charge. They had to be responsible for the pack, which was their children. And I thought that it was very interesting because people use in our society, they use the alpha personality as a way to say that, oh, I'm the alpha, you must default to me. Well, no, in the original study, the alphas people defaulted to the alphas because they were their parents. And as parents, it's not just about having authority over a person like we use it kind of in Western society. I am the alpha, I'll be over you. In the real life, how it's played out in real life with the wolves, the alphas were in control, but they were also extremely responsible. They also took care of the other children, which were, their subordinates, we'll call them. They took care of their children. They fed them. They made sure they were cared for. They protected them. They fought fiercely for them, and they fought fiercely with them. So all of that combined, it kind of reinforced the importance of parenthood and the importance of being responsible and being accountable, and also caring for the people who are under your leadership. Whether you're a parent or whether in Western society you choose to take on the alpha personality, you are now responsible for these people, for their well-being. And to destroy them doesn't help. To undermine them doesn't help their well-being. To try to plot against them doesn't help their well-being. So in the grand scheme of things, if we were to truly follow the alpha personality prototype, we would have to be more like parents in caring for the people that are under us. And caring doesn't include, trying to get people fired, and caring doesn't include trying to harm people for no reason. So just my thoughts on the alpha, the real, what I choose to believe as the real alpha personality being a parenthood over your children or over people that you are in charge of, and the brief little story about the rabbit, its two babies, the crow, and the cat. Because all of that just made me think of the importance of, like I said, parenthood, and the importance of being a responsible leader. And it's more than just being in charge. It's more than just, getting a big piece of chicken. It's more than just having a special chair. It's more than just being the boss and having a corner office. It's 100% about being accountable to these people and to make sure that all of their needs are met and that they are protected. That's the goal. That's the major responsibility that I think people fall short of in the pursuit of maintaining the alpha. So it's more about the internal fortitude than it is about the external accolades that you may get by being in charge. So those are my thoughts, and of course it's a lot to unpack there, but I try to keep these really, really short. But tell me your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you read the book about the alpha personality, and have you read the book by the author with the wolves talking about the alphas being just the parents of the wolf pack and not leaders by strength or size or anything like that? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. So that's all I got for today. Take it easy.